I just sat in the sun for 30 minutes and read almost this entire book. It would have been the entire book, except for the fact that I read the introduction a week and a half ago. StrengthsFinder 2.0. This guy and a few other people created this assessment to like figure out what your strengths are. And let me find one. For example, the includer, and it just has like a little blurb about what that means, if that is one of your strengths, and then like examples from real people of what that strength looks like in action, and then some ideas for action if that is one of your strengths. So this book is supposed to be like a companion guide for after you've taken their assessment, but I just read the book and was like, oh, I relate to that, or oh, I don't. So you don't have to do the assessment if you don't want to. So I literally was just looking for my phone. I'm filming with it. Maybe I can pull up my notes. Okay. I made a note on my phone as I was reading through the strengths that I was like, oh yeah, for sure. I definitely relate to that. Maybe I should not refer to them as strengths because that's like, it's weird to be like, oh, these are all my strengths. Things that are a part of who I am. A strong part of who I am. Pieces of my identity. However we want to phrase this. So I broke them down into 3 different categories. Ones that I was like, oh, for sure, that's definitely me. Kinda, and maybe. So it was really interesting to me as I was going through and writing these down. When I was like halfway through them, I was like starting to notice a pattern that most of the ones that I was like, oh yeah, for sure, that's me. It was like in how you relate to people, and the ones that it was like kinda was how I relate to work. And it was very interesting to see that pattern. And maybe I should just read through. I'll start with the kinda ones. Yeah, so like analytical. That one's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like I am sort of, but not to the point that like, I don't know, all of these descriptions of strengths were like extremes. And for like the for sure ones, those extremes were applicable. But these ones, they weren't quite as applicable. Like I do like data, but I'm not like so fiercely logical and analytical that it's like unemotional. Anyway, so analytical was a kinda consistency. I can't remember what that one. Were these in alphabetical order? I just realized they're in alphabetical order. How did I not notice that? Oh my word. Oh, consistency is like you feel like all people need to be treated the same. I mean, I do believe that. I don't know why I put that one in kinda. Whatever. Deliberative. Is deliberative? I have no idea. English is a difficult language. Oh, this is like you kind of view the world as a hostile environment, which I kind of do, unfortunately. But like you identify the dangers, weigh their relative impact, and then place your feet deliberately. You walk with care. I would say that I do that to a point, but not as extreme as what it was saying in here. And then discipline. Where is it? There it is. Your world needs to be predictable. It needs to be ordered and planned. Not terribly. I mean, I grew up with a lot of structure and schedule and planning, but since I've been on my own, I've gotten a lot more lax with that. Focus. Oh, this is like you make goals for yourself like every year, each month, even each week. I don't do that. I do goals for the year, and I don't really pay attention to them. So, restorative. You like rehabbing things, whether it be people or businesses or ideas. Like you like taking something, an idea or a structure or a system that feels like it's dying, it's fizzling out, and you like bringing it back to life. I kind of do, but not like terribly much. Then self-assurance. Why did I put that one? Kind of. Now I'm like second guessing. Oh, kind of just like no one else's opinion matters. I do care what other people think to a point. And then the last one that was in this kinda category was strategic. This is like being fiercely analytical and like finding paths through difficult things. I don't really like relate to that as much. Okay, and then I want to talk about the for sure ones, because that was so incredibly fascinating to me. I think when I got to the point of empathy, I was like, wait, these are all related to people. So the first one that I put in this for sure category was belief. And this was basically just saying that you have a strong belief system, a set of values that guide your life, and they are very important to you, and you stand by them no matter what. And I feel like that's really true for me. And when other people do things that go against what I deem to be like universal values, like this is just how you should be as a human, it is very disturbing to me. So that is definitely a for sure. The next one I put in here was connectedness. I think this is, yeah, everything happens for a reason. You see like behind the scenes how things are connected and higher power, that kind of thing. And that just doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, do you believe in God or not? But it's like certain of the unity of humankind. You're a bridge builder for people of different cultures. Sensitive to the invisible hand, you can give others comfort that there is a purpose beyond our humdrum lives. You are considerate, caring, and accepting. Yeah, I definitely believe in the connectedness of humanity as a whole. I don't even know how to like explain it. Okay, moving on. The next one was context. And this was kind of like, you like to know what has made people who they are. You want to know all their stories. You want to know why they do things the way that they do things. You just kind of want to like get a glimpse into who they are. Yeah. The next one was developer. You see the potential in others. In fact, very often, potential is all you see. That can be an issue. In your view, no individual is fully formed. On the contrary, each individual is a work in progress, alive with possibilities, and you are drawn toward people for this very reason. Yeah. Oh, that one's a little too close to home. I definitely see people for who they could be, not for who they are. And that gets me into trouble because sometimes who they are is not very good, and I really shouldn't be like pretending that they're who they could be and not who they are. Yeah. Moving on. Empathy was the next one. Yeah, you can sense the emotions of those around you. You can feel what they're feeling as though their feelings are your own. Intuitively, you're able to see the world through their eyes and share their perspective. You do not necessarily condone the choices each person makes, but you do understand. This instinctive ability to understand is powerful. You hear the unvoiced questions. You anticipate the need. Where others grapple for words, you seem to find the right words on the right tone. You help people find the right phrases to express their feelings, to themselves as well as to others. You help them give voice to their emotional life. For all these reasons, other people are drawn to you. I don't know if you've heard of MBTI, Myers-Briggs, personality tests. I used to be the mediator. Now I'm the advocate, INFJ. People they can try as they might to hide. It's so easy to tell what's going on in reality. And like, not all the time, obviously. I'm not always right. But people show a lot more than they think they do. And nonverbal communication is very strong and hard to fake unless you know what you're doing. And it's just so fascinating to me, the glimpses that I get into other people and like why they're doing the things that they're doing. And sometimes the people don't even know that that's why they're doing what they're doing. But when I've had friendships where I'm comfortable enough that I feel like I can tell them what I'm sensing, they're like, that is exactly what was happening. Like, how did you know? And it's just like, I don't know. I just know. And sometimes it's creepy, so I don't always give voice to it. Anyways, the next one was futuristic. You're the kind of person who loves to peer over the horizon. The future fascinates you. You're a dreamer who sees visions of what could be and who cherishes those visions. When the present proves too frustrating and the people around you too pragmatic, you conjure up your visions of the future and they energize you. Way to call me out. I am a huge daydreamer. I need to have a dream that I'm looking forward to. I need to have a vision of what I want my life to look like, something that I'm working towards, otherwise I get really stagnant. So, yes, I am definitely a futuristic, future-oriented person. Okay, what is next? Harmony. Ooh. I wouldn't say, I guess I put this one in for sure because it kind of was a little too, I should have had 4 tiers because I needed one between for sure and kind of. Because I do like when people agree, and there was some funny sentences in here, but I don't always feel like the need to go around and keep the peace. Like, it's not to that extreme. But like, okay, this last part was hilarious. You can't quite believe how much time is wasted by people trying to impose their views on others. Wouldn't we all be more productive if we kept our opinions in check and instead looked for consensus and support? In your view, we are all in the same boat, and we need this boat to get where we're going. It's a good boat. There's no need to rock it just to show that you can. I thought that was great. Yeah, so harmony is definitely something that I enjoy. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. The next one was ideation. You're fascinated by ideas. Yes. Yours is the kind of mind that is always looking for connections, and so you are intrigued when seemingly disparate vastly different phenomena can be linked by an obscure connection. There sounds like there's a goat outside. What? Okay. Yes, I am definitely an ideas person, which needs to be paired with a drive for action. Otherwise, it stays in the idea phase. The next one was includer. You want to include people and make them feel part of the group. In direct contrast to those who are drawn only to exclusive groups, you actively avoid those groups that exclude others. You hate the sight of someone on the outside looking in. Yeah. I don't like it when people exclude people. Individualization. You are impatient with generalizations or types because you don't want to obscure what is special and distinct about each person. Instead, you focus on the differences between individuals. You instinctively observe each person's style, each person's motivation, how each thinks, and how each builds relationships. Yeah. Input. This one was kind of funny. You are inquisitive. You collect things. You might collect information, words, facts, books, and quotations, or you might collect tangible objects such as butterflies, baseball cards, porcelain dolls, or sepia photographs. Whatever you collect it because it interests you. If you read a lot, it's not necessarily to refine your theories, but rather to add more information to your archives. If you like to travel, it is because each new location offers novel artifacts. And you never know when you might need them, but who knows when they might become useful. That is definitely me. Intellection. You like to think. You like mental activity. You're introspective. I like to think. Learner. Could be a lifelong learner. I have always said that. Or maybe not always, but yeah, I've definitely said that. Like, if I could just try a bunch of stuff for the rest of my life, I would be so happy. Okay, and then we're almost done. Positivity. You are generous with praise, quick to smile, and always on the lookout for the positive in the situation. I don't necessarily say that I always am looking for the positive in the situation, but I feel like I've gotten a lot better about letting my more happy, energetic side show in the last couple of years, because I used to be this smiley little bundle of energy when I was little, and then my teenage years kind of robbed me of that, and I think I'm finally getting it back. So sometimes positivity is a strength of mine. If I feel comfortable enough to just let it show. And the last one that I put in this category was relator. You derive a great deal of pleasure and strength from being around your close friends. Once the initial connection has been made, you deliberately encourage a deepening of the relationship. You want to understand their feelings, their goals, their fears, and their dreams, and you want them to understand yours. You know that this kind of closeness implies a certain amount of risk you might be taken advantage of, but you are willing to accept that risk. For you, a relationship has value only if it is genuine, and the only way to know that is to entrust yourself to the other person. The more you share with each other, the more you risk together. The more you risk together, the more each of you proves your caring is genuine. These are your steps toward real friendship, and you take them willingly. I have said so many times that when I become friends with someone, I dive in head first. Like, I literally didn't even know my friend Olivia in January, and over the last 2.5 months, I feel like we've gotten pretty close, and we hang out pretty often and talk about literally anything and everything. And for some people that might be like really weird, but I just value authenticity and vulnerability within friendships. So yeah, all of that to say, if you kind of just want some self-reflection, self-discovery, introspection, if you want to learn and put a finger on what makes you tick, what your strengths are, go find this or ask me and I might be able to send it to you. You could probably find it for cheaper than it would cost for me to send it to you. And I kind of want to keep this because I want to go back and read them again to remind myself of what I'm good at. It doesn't take very long to read. Like I said, I was out there for maybe like half an hour and I read through all the strengths, just the little blurbs. I didn't read through all the examples and action points. But if you want to learn more about yourself, I highly recommend finding that book, giving it a quick read. Or if you watch this video and you found some things that you relate to, maybe that was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you right back here next week.